Hello guys and welcome to Daily Market Movements. Welcome to another episode where today we're going to be analysing the NASDAQ 100 futures chart. We're about halfway through the trading session today. Very big news event approaching in approximately 1 hour's time. Unfortunately, I couldn't do the video after this news event, but I will be doing another video before the US markets open tomorrow to compensate. But we have Jerome Powell coming out with the first Fed minutes in a few months. And we've got that massive decision where traders are fully anticipating Jerome Powell to come out and hike interest rates by 0.25 basis points. So a 25 basis points hike here from the Fed. And more importantly, we will hear in a conference some guidance as to what could potentially be happening in the upcoming months. For example, I think we're pretty much expecting a hike in June and in I think it was May as well. So May and June we are expecting a second and third hike, and there's even now talks of a fourth hike in July. So it'll be very interesting to see what Jerome Powell has to say about that. But just before we get into the technical movements here of the NASDAQ 100, just want to let you all know that my signal service, if you go and visit dailymarketmovements.com, that will take you to this website here. I charge a very small fee of $29.99 a month. So definitely go onto my website and click on subscribe. But back to the NASDAQ 100, let's analyze it from more of a technical perspective. We've seen a monstrous move towards the upside during the trading session today. Currently trading at around 13,720. We're about 18 points off the session highs where we did go and achieve around 13,700. Sorry, around 13,800. Sorry, and this is a movement just within this wedge. And this is something I said on Monday when we were trading up here. I said I fully anticipated the NASDAQ 100 to go back down towards 13,000 at some point, and we're just going to be basically bouncing within this triangle, and that's exactly what's happened in the last couple of days. But this is where it starts to get a little bit interesting because, of course, we are now testing the upside of that wedge. So, whether it be Jerome Powell, whether it be Ukraine and Russia, if we did get some really good, exciting news, some positive news, I should say, that could potentially be the catalyst that sends us breaking out of this downsloping wedge. And for those who do not know, this is historically a very bullish sign that we have started to form this wedge, and we're currently trading within this ABC correction, and the B leg takes us all the way up to around 15,300. So there's definitely some fantastic money-making opportunities out there for the NASDAQ 100. That being said, I am worried here for the NASDAQ 100. If I go and look at some equities, for example, AMD is a stock that I own. We're also trading within this sloping down triangle, and we are now approaching these top looking edges as well. So, another one would be Microsoft. If you just quickly drew up a zone, again, we are kind of just approaching that top side, and stocks are starting to get rejected here. So I think for us to break out of these levels, we will need that catalyst, and we just need to wait patiently now for that catalyst. And if we don't get that catalyst, then I think we turn that down over the next couple of trading sessions, and we go and retest 13,000. But it's good to hear some positive news coming out of Ukraine and Russia, that they actually are starting to have some good talks. Of course, Russia continues to bomb Kiev and residential areas, which is horrible to hear, but hopefully there can be an end to that war in the upcoming sessions, and that could potentially be what sends us high here for the NASDAQ 100. So very, very bullish medium to longer term. Short term, it's kind of unknown at this moment in time. I do expect to see some volatility around the Fed meeting. I know many traders who are new to trading are thinking, the market's going to plummet today because the Fed's going to raise interest rates. One thing I would say is, don't forget the market is always 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months ahead. Okay, so investors are more worried about what Jerome Powell's going to say in the conference after the Fed rate decision, where he will potentially talk about, his plans going into May, June, July, August, September, etc. So everyone knows that we're pretty much going to get a 25 basis point hike today. So do not be surprised if the market doesn't really move on that news flash. It's all about the conference when Jerome Powell will be speaking for approximately 1 hour's time.